Hey guys, I had a lot of time today and I thought I'd clean my pedal collection. And while doing so, I noticed that most of my cheaper pedals have a more expensive variant or a more expensive successor. And I asked myself, why is that so? So the question is there a noticeable difference between cheaper and more expensive pedals? And what exactly is the difference? Well, to find out, I will compare some of my cheaper pedals to the more expensive versions, and I'll try to tell you what my impressions are and what the differences might be. In this video, we will compare boost, overdrive and wah pedals directly to each other. Further, we will stack the boost pedals and the overdrive pedals and see if we can get some good lead tones. So stay tuned, we'll start with the comparison right now. So first we need a booster that makes our sound more dynamic and alive, that pumps it up a little bit so that the notes have slightly more sustain. For this purpose I have chosen the Vamirim Genray and the TC Electronics Spark. So here's my impression of the Vamirim Genray as a booster. If you play an instrument acoustically and unamplified, you will always identify certain sound characteristics. It's always nice when these characteristics are retained. The Genray manages to keep these features perfectly. The instrument and the notes continue to feel very direct and acoustic. The sound of the pedal is perfectly embedded in the amplifier's sound. The TC Spark sounds really good. It gives the sound exactly that little kick that we are looking for. The pedal manages to keep the main character of the instrument, but not nearly as authentically as the Vamirim Genray. The Spark sounds a little cooler, a little stiffer than the Vamirim, but overall it does its job very well. So second, we need a wah pedal that gives us vocal-like sounds and that really cuts through the mix also for the overdriven sounds. For that purpose, I have chosen the full-tone Clyde Standard and a regular Jimi Hendrix Crybaby wah that I bought back in 1992 in New York at Manny's Music. I think it's nothing more than a standard Crybaby that is modified slightly, but it's definitely, there's no big secret to the sound of this wah pedal. So the glide sounds very prominent. The wah effect is very pronounced and it sits well balanced on the treadle. Well, for my personal taste, I'm not sure if the wah effect isn't a little too prominent. The crybaby sounds very soft and it fits perfectly in the mix. It's not as prominent as the full tone. It's a little bit quieter, a little bit softer, not as prominent as the glide. It still has enough power and enough sound reserves to cut through the mix perfectly. Third, we need a pedal that gives us this Marshall crunch. Not high gain sound, but just Marshall crunch. And for this purpose, I have chosen the Origin Effects Revival Drive Compact and the K-Line Orange Burst Overdrive. The Revival Drive Compact is an amazing pedal and I've already reviewed it extensively in another video. It enhances the sound and it transports the natural sound of the guitar perfectly. Just like the Van Meuren Gen Ray, this pedal sounds like a real amp. The communication between this pedal, the guitar and the amplifier is extremely immediate and you won't experience any losses. Well, to put it in a nutshell, this pedal sounds like the perfect plexi to me. Well, I still can't believe what the K-Line offers for its price. The K-Line also knows how to produce this classic plexi crunch excellently. However, we have to cut corners. Compared to the Revival Drive Compact, the K-Line sounds a little bit one-dimensional. Sometimes it feels like you are playing against a wall. Overall, the sound does not open up like the sound of the Revival Drive. So the difference between these two pedals is really big. But to me, the K-Line Orange Burst remains a very, very good overdrive pedal. So fourth is the combination of the booster and the overdrive pedal. So these must work together to give us a good higher gain rhythm sound and of course a good lead sound. So here is my overall conclusion. Well, it's really fun to play both kind of pedals. Well, both solutions sound great, which is also due to the fact that most of the cheaper pedals sound great nowadays. So you shouldn't categorically exclude them. The more expensive pedals understand it better to preserve and to transport the natural sound of your instrument. Well, these qualities might go down a little bit in a live situation, but in the end, this is a very important factor to your playing feel. I'd say you should definitely experiment with both variations, because in the end, it's your personal impression that counts, and not that of the general public or what you read on forums. So, I hope you enjoyed my video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to stay tuned. See you at my next video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.